I spent 6 years of my life spending the entire day looking at my phone, checking on scores of games, looking at the stock market, and planning my next bet. Whether it was going to be a sports bet, a casino game, or, an option in the stock market, I was consistently thinking about it. It took up all of my thoughts, and then it took up all of my money. I want to share what life was like when I was active in my gambling addiction, because it's not a life that you're going to want to live. But then I'm also going to tell you what life's like now, to give you a reason to get yourself away from gambling if you feel like you've gone down the same path that I did. So my name is Rob, and I'm a recovering gambling addict. I made my last bet November the 12th of 2022, and now I create videos like this every single day because I want you to avoid making the same mistakes with your life that I made with mine. Because as you're about to see, it made for a hell of a life, and not a good one. So a day in the life of an active gambling addict is filled with uncertainty. Your entire financial future, your security in life, and your happiness is determined by something that you have no control over. In my case, it was often a sport. Whether it was a tennis match or a basketball match, by the time it was about halfway done, I typically knew how things were going to end up, and usually it wasn't so great. You could do research, you could follow the trends, but at the end of the day, your happiness and your success, the amount of money you're winning, the way that you're measuring your success in life is determined by millionaires who you're never going to meet that are playing a game. And they're getting paid to play, and you're paying for some excitement and the chance at winning money, when in reality, every single bet is designed for you to lose. So the uncertainty would carry over into feelings of anger and regret, and then eventually depression. I would wake up in the morning, the first thing I would do was check on bets that I had had going overnight. I'd play some hands of blackjack to either use the money that I had won to chase a bigger win, or to try to recover losses. Then, shortly after that, I was checking on what was coming up next, whether it was the 1 o'clock games on a weekend, or the 7 o'clock games that would come up later that night. I was just thinking about my next opportunity to make money gambling. And when you're always consumed by the thought of what's coming next, you ignore everything around you. There were friendships and relationships that were lost because of my gambling. And it wasn't that they said, ew, he's a gambler. It was that I didn't care about them, or at least didn't show that I cared about them. When I was actively gambling, if I was having a bad day, I wouldn't care what anyone else was going through, because I was desperately trying to figure out where to get money to either make the next bet to try to get the money back and win it back, or I was thinking about my bet that was already placed. Would it win? What did I need to happen for it to win? What was the likelihood of it winning? Do I need to figure out a way to hedge my bet, put more money in? My brain was constantly churning, and never was it churning for a reason other than for myself. I was incredibly selfish. And with that selfishness came anxiety too. I looked up one day and everyone was gone or didn't want to be around me. Or even the friends that still wanted to be around me, it just felt like I had drifted away from them a little bit because I didn't care about what anyone else was going through except myself. It's like the idea of when you're on a plane and things, God forbid, go wrong. You're supposed to put your oxygen mask on first. But I didn't even have an oxygen mask near me in this metaphor. I was on the hood of the plane hoping that we'd figure it out instead of being inside. So life was chaotic, but more than just chaotic, it was constantly concerning. To this day, I still feel uncomfortable if I'm not stressed out. For example, I'm on a vacation right now recording this video, and the reason that I'm recording the video is because I was feeling uneasy sitting around doing nothing. And while there's certain positives about that, when I was gambling, I had to constantly get another bet in. When I had a win and I was in a place where I might have felt good for that given amount of time, I didn't sit with it for very long because I was addicted to the rush and the thrill. And feeling comfortable or feeling okay felt wrong because I had become so accustomed to the uncertainty. So if you can relate to feelings of needing to continue to keep yourself on edge to feel excitement or thrill or satisfaction, it's an obvious sign that something's wrong with the way that you're gambling. Now, I don't want to be all doom and gloom because things are a lot better now that I'm in recovery for a gambling addiction. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, my last bet was on November the 12th of 2022. So it's been quite a long time since then. And again, not every day is a good day. But now that I'm in recovery, Things are determined by myself. I can determine what my mood is, what's happening around me, and what my certainty is in life. My financial security is no longer determined by someone I don't know. I can set a budget. I can try to keep to that budget, although I still struggle with that. I can move forward in job opportunities and career development with an actual passion for it, because I'm not sitting around swiping my phone refreshing scores to see if I would have enough money to eat that night. There's still bad days. There's still days when things go wrong, when everyone seems to be mad at you, or you're not getting the job that you want, or your video, in my case, flops, like this one may very well be doing right now. But it's things that are out of our control, that we're always out of our control, and we're not adding to the problem anymore. That's what's so beautiful about recovery. I would say that 98 to 99% of my problems in life were directly or indirectly the result of me gambling. Now I'm so much better equipped to deal with it. I'm feeling like I know what I'm doing with my life now, and there's an actual direction to it. Because that's another piece of this puzzle, is you have to find some kind of purpose in your life, whether it's your ultimate purpose or not, just something tangible to move towards if you want to feel better and feel like you're making progress. Because when I was gambling, I didn't even have a set amount of money I wanted to win, a game that I wanted to beat, an amount that I wanted to be up before I'd feel comfortable. I was just doing it because that was the habit that I had formed. That was who I had become. I had become a gambling addict. Now, my purpose is this: making these pieces of content every single day. Whether it flops or it goes viral, there's tangible progress forward and something to show for my efforts in life. At the end of the tunnel, I want to see people getting the help that I could have used when I was struggling. That is my goal with this content. So whether or not that's a clearly defined goal, maybe I still have work to do on it. Maybe I need to pick a number or a time frame to try to accomplish these things in. But doing good work and trying to make something out of my life, that's a tangible thing to try to accomplish. That's a tangible goal. I lacked tangible things when I was a gambling addict, active in my gambling. So the major difference between life before and life now is that while there's still uncertainty in my life, I'm not the one that's causing it. I'm not creating the struggles that I've been battling on a daily basis. Now I'm just reacting to whatever life has to throw. And that is how it should be. We shouldn't be making our lives more difficult to live. We should be seeking purpose and finding something to be happy about each day, which sounds easy, but it's not always so simple. So while there's still a lot of struggles in the way, there's tangible progress forward, and I hope that you can have that as well. If you're struggling right now and you're looking for the very first steps to get yourself onto a better path, then I want you to check out this video that I made about how I quit gambling. And let's keep getting better together, one day at a time.